Okay, so this one's like a miniature land. I can already tell. Because look at the roof. Like, it's quite trippy actually. But what is going on, guys? It is Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. We are back on the fan maps today. And Viala, she's been asking for ages to finally have me play her map. And so that's going to be the first one of today. 5 locations, 11 people have played it, with the top score, apart from her, being 9,800 by Chuma, followed by 1,600 in 4th place. So this should be exactly... or as I meant to say, this should be very difficult. So let's go, of course, with a minute per round here and see what we've got. We've got 5 maps coming up today, and of course, if you want to submit your own, go ahead to my Discord. So here we go, Bremerhaufen. We're on some kind of ship here. We're gonna have to click in some kind of ocean somewhere around the world. We see ice, so north or south. So I'm just trying to think, Bremen, and there's Bremerhaven there, so I did remember that city, but of course we're not going to be there, so let's guess up maybe near Svalbard, or maybe it could, if it's the middle of the winter, it could just be somewhere up here, you know. That's the best I can think of. Obviously, if it's in the southern hemisphere, suns to the south, so northern hemisphere would technically make more sense. So yeah, I think I do prefer going north here. Obviously, we're probably not going to be right there, but if we were, that would be annoying. And if it's southern hemisphere, so be it. I mean, even though these scores are really low, I feel like I still have to do this. Let's see. And of course, so we were at South Georgia, and South Sandwich Islands, and yeah, not a good score. Unfortunate. And so apparently we picked up a state streak for being inside the ocean, but regardless, here's the next one. We're on some sand. We have interesting trees here. Almost reminds me of Deep South down here, these trees, but not entirely sure. These guys, both white, almost dress a bit European, in my opinion, but yeah, not really sure. These mountains are pretty decently tall. And yeah, we just have a lot of sand and some rocks. So this time, well, last time the sun lied, this time the sun is to the north, so perhaps the southern hemisphere is the play. We just need somewhere with a few hills, maybe something like this. I quite like that, just because we do have mountains in the background, and these trees, I feel like I've seen them right deep south before, so why not? It's meant to be a really difficult round. I'm feeling okay about that. If it wasn't there, maybe somewhere in Central Asia, or maybe somewhere else in South America. But let's see. Okay, so this one was actually over in Kamchatka, or Kamchatsky Peninsula, and Kamchatka, or whatever, yeah. And it was a tough round. The mountains make sense now. We couldn't see any of the really big ones, but okay, we were actually near a volcano. How did I not see that? I guess it was over in the background, but yeah, another 0 points, so a tough one to be sure. Here we have like a big rock opening, 4-wheel drives. Whenever I see 4-wheel drives like this, I always think of Africa. Middle East is the other option, I suppose. I like Yemen for this. I think they have like a lot of interesting like rock structures. It also can get a little bit greener than you think. Otherwise, Africa. Where in Africa could this be? Maybe like... these trees certainly look African. Could be like Namibia or something like that, I suppose. But I think I will go Yemen here. I think I just prefer that. Okay, Mauritania, that is definitely a tough round. So here we were. Does it even show up on the map, that thing? Apparently not. But yeah, we actually pull some points this time. We're on the right latitude, so I mean, I guess that's kind of exciting. 87 points, 87 whole points. Next one, Northern Canada was the first thing that came to mind. It's very desolate. Somewhere in Canada. I think somewhere in Canada for this one. Otherwise, Alaska. I don't know, it's quite flat though. It looks like we have a city in the background or something going on here. If it was better quality, a lot of these so far have been rather low quality. But indeed, they have been difficult, and these maps are often made to be difficult. We've got a town, so I was just thinking maybe something up like this. We could be near Stony Rapids, that's possible. Just somewhere in the middle of Canada, then we'd actually get some points. Now, could this be like China? Could this be China or Mongolia? Certainly. Or Kazakhstan or Russia? Certainly. I think that's basically it though, unless it was like a strange Europe or strange Asia, but let's see. And okay, it was actually in Ukraine, so on this island here, or is it an island? Yeah, technically speaking, it is not connected to the mainland apparently, and that's a really interesting landform, and of course I only pull 32 points, so going extremely poorly now, and here is round 5. So a fairly normal looking thing, fairly normal looking living room here. Let's look for clues. Piranha. Okay. This is going to be somewhere strange. This is definitely going to be somewhere strange. I've got like a VR headset, maybe? I don't know if that's what that is, or just a helmet. They're watching like Bob's Burgers, I reckon? I don't know. Never really liked that show. Sorry if you do, but I think I recognize it. Checkers. They play checkers. Bit of French there. Looks like that might be in French. So maybe Reunion. I don't know. We got like this looks like a really southern hemisphere kind of like picture here. So maybe Reunion would make sense. Mini wheats, Kellogg's. I don't know. It's just one thought that came to me just because we have some French and it's meant to be a hard map, and so that would be an interesting place to put it, of course. There's really no evidence beyond that. We've got like an Apple Mac over there. I don't know. Let's see. Not at all. This was in northern Canada, in Sax Harbor. And so we get 0 points again. 119. That is a right mess right there. Only decent guess, and decent, that's a very loose definition, was the Mauritania for Yemen. And everything else was really worth nothing. Like, even this Canada one we got a few points for. But yeah, I mean, looking at the game breakdown here, pretty much says it all. 0 points on 3 out of 4 rounds. And a total of 59,000 kilometers away. So I could definitely put that in the thumbnail. Regardless, here's the second map. It's Zigzag Challenge map by Chuma, active member of this community. Top score was actually 18,000 points by Lentils. So let's see what's going on this round. Okay, so first round is not black screen. We actually do have something here. We got some people, white guys, some boats here. Ooh, interesting, like really beautiful watercolor here. I guess my first thought was Canada, just because they kind of look North American. This guy wearing a cap and sunglasses and whatnot. Could be quite far north. It looks like a glacier lake just with the watercolor. It's quite beautiful. Otherwise, Central Europe is still possible, like Caucasus or something like that. Not Central, but, you know, all the way out in the Caucasus. I still prefer somewhere in Canada, maybe up pretty north or something like that. I'm not really sure, though. The tree, it is pretty sparse for trees on this side of the lake, so maybe indicative of it being a bit more northern. But yeah, that's basically all I could say here. Looks to be North American, so let's go for it. And okay, it's actually all the way down here in Chile, and we're in Lago Plomo, and so really tough round. I wonder if there's anything I could have done to have gotten that there. Maybe I would have just had to have thought of Chile, and of course it's meant to be hard, so Canada would have been a bit of an obvious choice there. Regardless, here we have a really interesting round. We are driving left-hand side of the road, so that's super helpful. So it says to stop there. Could this be India, I wonder? We have a lot of people on, or like a lot of bags on the back of this little truck here. It's like a loading truck. It's really interesting. And then, yeah, it's basically all we've got to work with. A lot of grass and really interesting land structure here. So I guess like my thought is like in India or Bangladesh here, somewhere around here. Would that really make sense? I'm not sure. We do seem to be like kind of lacking the amount of roads that we need around here though. So maybe a little further down, or maybe it's just in Bangladesh here. Over the Bangladesh side of the border, again, not looking too promising. We need more roads going out here. But yeah, seems like they're just part of a national park or whatever. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. And this one was in Zambia, so is that actually correct? I wonder if, well, yeah, it does say middle of the swamps, so I guess the swamps don't properly come up on the map or whatever, which is interesting. But yeah, main reason I went India, or I ended up going India, was because Chuma is Indian himself. But yeah, there we go, Zambia. Actually, come to think of it, that stop sign on the ground that we read that meant that we could see that it was left-hand drive did look very similar to the South African one, so we could definitely have kept that in mind. So where brands meet people, interesting. This one could be India. It almost looks like it says Chennai there, but yeah, maybe that is too much of a reach. Now let's look over here. Okay, Havana Loca. So definitely some kind of Cuban themed restaurant here. These people, it's hard to tell. Big stadium there. Again, if it was India, it could be like a cricket stadium. Izona. Okay, so kind of looks like Turkey as well with these buildings. So it could be like Turkey or a country around there, maybe Iran or something like that. I kind of like Iran, actually. So maybe around Tehran. I think that would make sense for most of it. I don't really know how many Cubans live in Tehran, but okay, it was Italy, so a super tough one there. Naples? The houses make sense for Italy in hindsight, but only in hindsight. Not a great guess. 600 points. Probably, is that the best guess of the video so far? I hope not. Yeah, I think it is actually. Wow. Not a good start. These two have really piled on the hard guesses. This time, interesting. Got some Indian-looking guys over here. Really big statue with an some kind of eagle with a talon showing through there. We've got a Muslim woman over here, so maybe Pakistan is possible as well. And it almost looks like Chinese style architecture here. Kind of reminds me of the Great Wall or something, and this roof as well. But yeah, it should be somewhere in India or Pakistan here, I think, with the mountains and all that. Could be Nepal as well, I suppose. But the mountains are not big enough, I would assume. So somewhere in Pakistan here. Oh no, he's angry at me last time for not knowing what the border situation is over here, but yeah, I guess we'll just guess somewhere in the hills over this direction and see. Okay, this was actually southern India, so I forgot about all these mountains down here. And maybe I could have gotten it from a language. I don't know if there was a language actually on offer there, but they do have the very rounded script over here. I don't know if it's Tamil or something like that. Down there. So yeah, not fantastic. We did not get the right region of the country, that's for sure. I'm not sure if we got the right country or not. Haven't learnt. Regardless, this one is looking very dry. Very northern or very southern, for sure. This is like a unique shape, though. Like, we should be able to get this. The like very outcroppy kind of islands. People live here because we can see these paths, so certainly somewhere that's habited. Northern. What about like something like this? Would that make sense? I mean, it seems like there's like an appropriate amount of like small roads, and we'd see other islands as well. I guess that's kind of the problem here. We probably don't see the kind of islands required. I still kind of like that the best. Like obviously Greenland, Svalbard, and even something like South Sandwich Islands are still possible, but I like Norway best here, I think. Okay, this was Russia on Lake Baikal, and this is what the islands look like. So yeah, super tough round. It felt more northern than it was, but I guess Russia in Siberia, it just gets so cold that it gets that feeling to it. And yeah, it was just 2,500 points for this one. Not a good game, but on the other hand, probably better. Well, quite a bit better than the last one. This one is by David Piano, and we've got 5 locations, 4 Zigzag, just how I like it, and top score is 14,000. So, not that I've been particularly reaching that high so far in this video. So this one looks like Brazil off the bat. I would assume it's probably Brazil. Looking around here, looks like, well, it's a massive city, and it should be South American, Mexican or South American here. Lots of red roofs, that's what initially drew me towards Brazil. Rio de Janeiro would make sense, I feel like, but I just want some more evidence of that. So, yeah, seems like we have, like, do we see the beach at all? That's the problem. I'm not really sure if the beach would be over there, or perhaps behind this mountain. That would probably make most sense. It does also remind me of the Porto Alegre round we've had in the past, so I'm kind of thinking of guessing there instead, honestly. Otherwise, Sao Paulo also makes sense, but yeah, Sao Paulo, Porto Alegre, I think make more sense than Rio de Janeiro here. So, in terms of climate, I'm not really sure out of the two. I might keep it Porto Alegre here. Okay, this was actually Caracas. I didn't realize that Caracas has this big mountain ridge to the north. So that's actually a really cool one. Look at how big the mountains are there. And yeah, it's not actually, well, it is definitely a massive city, but maybe not as big as I thought. I don't know. But yeah, that was certainly a gettable round. Unfortunate that I kind of misread it. It was probably a little bit too tropical looking to be Porto Alegre. Well, yeah, clearly in hindsight, but should have known that. Next one feels like northern Israel or something like that to me. Youth, phenomenal youth, bank med. Interesting. So, got some English going on here, which is not exactly what I expected to see. Red flag and a blue flag. I still think I prefer northern Israel over everything here, just because of these like these kind of metal poles here. I don't see any other language. That language is not quite legible there. 28 seconds to go. We got some scaffolding, all that bit. It's not easy. Why would they have the sign in English? That's my thought here. Turkey, India. Neither seem that good. I think I just prefer something like this. Could even be Beirut, I suppose, but I don't know if they did tracker there. And regardless, I'm gonna go for northern Israel. And okay, it is actually over in Lebanon, in Sidon. So that's why it gave me a bit of that vibe, and the English does probably make a bit more sense for Lebanon than for Israel. So that's the first good guess of the video, and it's probably also the first official coverage of the video as well, to be fair. Oh, wow, I refreshed it because I thought it wasn't loading, but this one has a bit of artistic license, I think. Wow, check this out. So we can do this one upside down if we want to. So we've got a big castle here, or a big palace looking Russian, perhaps? We do have like a lot of Russian-shaped buildings, I would say, so sorry if this is making you feel sick. Is this the same thing? Yeah, this is the same thing, so there's no point in looking up. Big, like, these kind of big forests with the crosses through them definitely remind me of Russia. And it should be a bigger city as well. Moscow, I'm less sure about. I kind of want to go more out to one of these ones. Let's see if Kazan has these big parks. Kazan doesn't really appear to have such like a well-organized park structure. So we could check out Chelyabinsk as well. Also not. Yekaterinburg does not appear to either. I might actually switch there because I think I probably prefer a bit further north. Perm does not either. So we're left wondering here. And this one was actually in Almaty. So that's interesting. Okay, so the palace kind of makes sense. But what I am wondering about, and this is what it looked like on the map. But what I am wondering, it was a cathedral indeed. But what I am wondering about, if I can get that out, is why couldn't I see the mountains? I guess we were just a little too far away from the massive mountains that are to the south of Almaty there. We still get 1,000 points, but not really the best. I think you can agree. At least we've actually made it past, 5,000 points this time. This one is a big bridge. We're driving right-hand side of the road. We can see that pretty clearly. Okay. So I was thinking like Central America here. We have big mansions. A lot of people, one thing that comes to mind here with this big bridge, I don't think it's US. Unless it is, hold up. One thing that immediately came to mind was like Belize or something like that, because does Belize City have such? It doesn't really have such bridges or anything like that. I just know a lot of people, like a lot of Americans like to retire to there, so I was thinking of that. Now I've decided against it, but the question is, which American city did we go for here? Unless it's Mexico or something? Okay, well, somewhere in Florida, I guess. I don't know if it's it wouldn't be Key West, but I guess we can just go right there and hope for the best. Bahamas actually would make sense. And not at all, this was in Rhode Island, so a super tough round, Newport, and man, I wish I just didn't get held up talking about Honduras or Belize or whatever, because this would have been gettable had I been searching the East Coast sooner. We got the right country, I guess, at least. This one is some Trekker German. Almost looks a little German. We got shutters on the windows though, so oh, not at all. So Mir, something against for. So not really sure what that means. I guess it means something like, I don't know what it is, like some kind of restaurant or cafe or something. But is this also in Cyrillic? Yeah, this is also Cyrillic. So what big city would look like this and has some Trekker? I guess Belarus is probably my main thought here. Minsk. Do we have a river like that? We do have a river like that running through Minsk. I forget which river it is, but which one is it? The Svislach. But a lot of cities run along this river. I think it's also Vilnius as well. But regardless, I do think we're going to be in Minsk here. I hope we're not wrong. And let's see. Yes, we are. Somehow I managed to guess on the wrong side. I wasn't looking at the compass properly, but we end up with 11,000, which I think. So let's actually go back here and check out what the top score for this one was, because I think that actually puts me up in third place. So pretty pleased with that. Minsk was a bit of an easier one because I know that place has Trekker. But let's get on to the next one, Bird's Eye View. And this one's by Scalaria. And top is actually by David, who got 14.9 thousand in a minute, and pretty consistent scores above 10,000 here. So 10,000 is the goal for me, but if I could get higher, that would be fantastic as well. Regardless, we have big mountains here, and look at these houses. Very interesting, almost Alps looking. We have some bollards. I think right off the bat that I like Switzerland here. Big mountains to our north, and also some mountains to our south as well, or at least some big hills. This town could easily be Swiss, Austrian, something like that. The amount of bollards, I would say, is probably consistent with both countries, but they're not black-topped, so it won't be Austria. So because of that, I will probably go near Zurich. Maybe over here. There's a UNESCO heritage site over here. So it's definitely a beautiful spot, so I think I like that best. Let's see. Okay, actually, Liechtenstein it was, Vaduz, or outside it, and Zurich would have been a better guess, but we still end up with 4.5k, so a good start. 10,000 seeming reachable here. This one. Okay, so interesting house over here. Florida kind of reminds me of Florida a little bit, I must say, but a lot of these houses are kind of smaller. Lots of pines lots of palms and big forests. I think I like Florida a lot here. Is there any hills? The problem is this is a little hilly. This is probably actually too hilly for Florida. Actually, definitely too hilly for Florida. So, if it's not Florida, then where are we going to go here? Bahamas? I don't think that makes sense either. Looking through these ones. Dominica? Guadalupe? I don't know. Maybe it's one of these. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. Yeah. No, I'm not sure. I always hate guessing in the Caribbean because I always feel like I'm going to be horribly wrong. I want to switch back, honestly. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. This was right at the north end of New Zealand. So, man, if only I could have seen that we were driving north. And it looks like maybe we were over here, but it seems like that actually maybe, possibly, wrongly placed. Regardless, it's not a good score. So next one, Santa Rosa, St. Rose. So where are we going to be? We got a soccer pitch there. So probably Latin America would make sense here. We got a church as well, so that would make sense as well. Orange number plate here. I feel like I remember seeing orange number plates in one of these nations over here, maybe Suriname. What side of the road are we driving on? Appear to be driving right-hand side of the road. I'm pretty sure Suriname might drive left. So maybe French Guiana? No, that wouldn't make sense. I think they use blue strips, so maybe I will keep it there anyway. It definitely reminds me a lot of Brazil, with single yellow line though. This orange number plate is messing with me, definitely. Could just be somewhere on the Caribbean as well. We do have front plates as well, so I'm not really sure what that would mean. But yeah, I don't know. And okay, we're actually over in the Galapagos in probably the biggest town here. Who knows how accurate that is, but I guess probably like on this island here. Somewhere. So yeah, tough round. What can I really say? 244 points. The orange number plate does make sense because in Ecuador the taxis have orange number plates, so maybe it was actually a taxi, but yeah, I guess we'll never know. This one, 10,000 points. We're gonna need to start making some guesses here. This one is really interesting architecture. Kind of reminds me of Singapore almost. Not really sure though. Definitely very well developed here. I'll say that much. Yeah, I think Singapore would make most sense. Look at this fantastic forest. That's awesome. And big shipping. So I think that would also make sense for Singapore. This kind of contrast of the very wealthy houses with this kind of port over here. Yeah, so I don't really know whereabouts in the city would fit this. It could be Hong Kong as well. So I want to check out Singapore really quickly. Yeah, I do think that like this kind of like harbor area would make sense. Maybe over something like this. I don't see any like forest that we were seeing in this one, so please don't be Hong Kong. Yeah, it's going to be Hong Kong, isn't it? It always screws me up. No, it's not. Good, good, good. We actually managed to stay there, and it was right by Keppel Island, so this was the nature reserve here then, or here. Regardless, a good score again. So 10,000 well within reach, just need a decent to moderate guess here. And even with the perfect score, we can't come out on top, unfortunately. This one's interesting. Got some cars. Kind of a poor quality road here. Patchy, like landscape. So we got like Lebanon does seem like a possibility again with these types of houses. It's very green. I like Lebanon most, I think. Is that a mosque? Can't really tell. Iran or Lebanon? We've got ocean over here to our, theoretically to our east, but I don't trust the compass, to be quite honest with you. I think we're somewhere over here. But is it not hilly enough though? That's the problem. It's very hilly in Beirut, and to be honest, for most of Lebanon. Maybe I'll guess, I don't know. I think I will keep it here. Iran or something like that is definitely a possibility still. Let's see. Come on, baby. Ah, Malta. Wow, okay. Was not expecting Malta there, but it makes sense. I just haven't seen Malta looking so green ever. So there we go. We do get 10,000 points. 10,900 seems to be kind of the average amongst the good players, so I'm happy with that. Singapore was fine, and then a decent Switzerland as well. Nothing too special. The hard rounds were where I massively messed up, but here we go. Famous places covered by Trekker. This is more like it, bro. We're finally going to get some points, I think. 18,000 on the top, though, so not a super easy round, to be fair. So let's see what we have in store on the next map. Okay, so this one's like a miniature land. I can already tell, because look at the roof. Like, it's quite trippy, actually. But yeah, this is like a miniature land. This is not real grass. This is someone's playset for some trains. I remember going to like a miniature land in Victoria, Canada. I don't think that was this though, but that's the only thing I can really think of, to be honest, because I don't know, I feel like they'd kind of do this like in Germany. I feel like there's a lot of like enthusiasts like that in Germany, so maybe I'll just go Leipzig here and hope for the best. If this is actually in Victoria, Canada, where I went to the miniature world, then I'll be annoyed, but yeah, I think this is a good hedge. And there we go, it was in Hamburg, Germany, so a really good start there. And that was Trekker, so interesting. I'm curious about that. Next one, more famous Trekker, big mountains, icy, bit of moss growing here. Okay, that's a big clue, because I don't feel like that would grow in Antarctica. I don't feel like there would actually be the opportunity for that to grow in Antarctica. It would probably be too prohibitive. So, big mountains elsewhere, climbable, I think it could actually be in Everest. Where's Everest? There it is. I do think so. I like that best, I think. Let's see. No. Alps. Of course. This one was on Mont Blanc in France, I guess. Yeah, France owns... Well, that's kind of... I guess it's contested, but... I guess neither country owns the peak, but yeah, both countries dividing on Mont Blanc there. So, interesting, but sadly wrong. Next one, feeling like Mexican with these trees to me. But I don't understand how this is a famous place. In fact, I would say this is probably anything but famous, unless there really is something going on about this. So Mont Blanc's definitely famous. The Hamburg place, less so. What's famous in Mexico? I wonder, maybe we could be around an Aztec temple or something like that, but I'm not really sure where a lot of those are like located. Maybe somewhere around there. I mean, I would expect it to be a bit greener there, so maybe near Monterrey or something like that. I don't really know. Let's just go for that. Looks like Mexico to me. And this one was actually Tanzanian Trekker, so is that actually famous? Gombe National Park, is it actually famous? I'm not sure. But not famous enough for me to have heard it. This time I am more confident about Mount Everest, because the mountains are a lot taller. And look, this also looks quite Nepalese. So we will get a free round in here. I like that. Here's Everest right here. Let's just go right in part of it. And 8.8 kilometers away, of course. So, last one. Will it be possible to get into that 10,000 point range? It would be nice. Certainly possible. This looks like Europe, so that's a good start. Green. What does this say? Green Hat Pafarad. I don't know. Germany was my first thought with like the Gen 2 Trekker. Interesting architecture here. Could be like Swedish or something. Gothenburg or something like that. Yeah, I like that as well with these blue painted crossing poles. So either like Sweden or Finland. I guess Finland also possible if they covered it in the summer. For whatever reason, Gothenburg popped into my mind. I'm not really sure if that's a good guess or not, but it's just this architecture over here. It kind of looks like southern Sweden to me. But I do think we're going to be in Europe, so hopefully it's not like Iceland or something. And okay, it was actually in Malmo, so I should have trusted myself with southern Swedish architecture. And we end up getting 12,500. So where does that place us? Only the 2 bad guesses on this one. Tanzania could have been possible. The trees did kind of look African in hindsight. And obviously Mont Blanc was possible if I knew more about mountains, I guess. Regardless, 12,000 is actually going to get us up into 3rd place, so pretty happy with that. Guys, thank you very much for watching all the way till the end. I got more videos coming up, so just stay tuned, and yeah, do submit your maps to me. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.